Good morning, everyone. Present over here. Nothing is done in a day. Religion cannot be swallowed in the form of a pill. It requires hard and constant practice. The mind can be conquered with only by slow and steady practice. With this quote, I, Vidyashree B from second year BBA LLB. Now, I would like to call upon Ms. Aisiri Bhatt for invocation.
शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। शरणु सिद्धि विनायका शरणु विद्या प्रदायका शरणु सिद्धि विनायका शरणु विद्या प्रदायका शरणु पार्वती तनय मूर्ति शरणु मूषिक वाहन शरणु 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 सिद्धि विनायका नितिल नेत्र निदेवि सुतने नागभूषण प्रियने तटिलतांकित कोमलांगने कर्णकुंडल धारिणे शरणु 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 सिद्धि विनायका कुक्षिमहलंबोधरने इक्षुचापन गिरिधने पक्षिवाहन श्री पुरंदर विठलना निज दासने शरणु 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 सिद्धि विनायका शरणु सिद्धि विनायका शरणु विद्या प्रदायका शरणु पार्वती तनय मूर्ति शरणु मूषिक वाहन शरणु 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 सिद्धि
Thank you, Aisiri, for your wonderful singing. Now, I would like to call upon Ms. Chandralekha from third year BLLB for welcome speech.
Very good morning and warm greetings to each one of you present here. I'm extremely overwhelmed to get this opportunity to welcome you all on this auspicious occasion of Rashtriya Yuva Diwas. We all have assembled here today to motivate and cherish the young minds present among us. It is our pleasure to have Shri VEERESHANANDA Saraswati Swamiji as our chief guest for today's program. Swami VEERESHANANDA Saraswati is a dynamic and musing monk of Ramakrishna movement, serving as the president of Ramakrishna Vivekananda Ashram in Tumakuru, Karnataka. He completed his BE in Electronics and Communication from Mysore University. Later, he accepted the monastic life as inspired by the life and teachings of Swami Purushothamanandaji Maharaj of Ramakrishna Math. Swamiji has delivered various discourses at 4th World Parliament of Religions 2004, held in Barcelona, Spain, Akka Sammelan 2012 in USA, special discourses for more than 10 lakh students in the last 25 years. He is also an editor of Viveka Geeti, bi-monthly magazine of Tumakuru Ashrama. His book, Swami Vivekananda and Manava Abhyudaya, is popular among the scholars. By considering the selfless service by Swamiji, Tumakuru University awarded him with honorary doctorate and Siddhaganga Sri Shivakumar Award by world-renowned Siddhaganga Math in 2017. I now request Dr. Mantik sir to present the bouquet to our chief guest. I once again welcome you, sir. I also take the opportunity to welcome our principal, Dr. J. M. Mallikarjun, in his absentia. I extend my warm welcome to our vice principal, Professor Dr. Anita Nchema. I request Dr. Chandra sir to present the bouquet. Thank you, sir. I also welcome our IQAC coordinator, Dr. Manoj Kumar B. Hireman, sir, in his absentia. Last but not the least, I would also like to extend my warm welcome to all the faculty members, administrative staff, and students present here. Thank you for joining us. I once again warmly welcome you all. Have a great day.
Thank you, Ms. Chandalika. Now I request our Vice Principal, Professor Dr. Amita N.J. ma'am for motivational speech.
Good morning. Shri VEERESHANANDA SARASWATI SWAMIJI Ramakrishna Mission Ashram in Guru. My dear colleagues, Dr. Mahadesh, Dr. Jayprasad, Dr. Jaisuma sir, Jain sir, and my dear students. So I was introduced as a motivational speaker. Actually, I am not the motivational speaker. Our Swamiji is here. I want to speak two words here. Why we have organized this particular program. You are all youth of this country. You are all the future of this country. And country belongs to you. At the same time, we find that many problems today's youth face. One is because of competition, there is lot of pressure, peer pressure, and pressure from your parents to achieve lot of things. And there are many distractions, and one of them is internet. So among all these things, because of these pressures, many face problems like depression. We find in our college many students having the problem with regarding their relationship with parents, friends, etc., etc. Pressure is lot, and we understand that in this scenario, you should have somebody who can guide you in philosophy, because it is very important. Many a time we not understand the importance of philosophy, importance of moral values. It gives peace of mind, and peace of mind, as you all know, that most important thing in anybody's life, not only students, anybody's life. And for that purpose, to guide you, we have organized this particular lecture, and we are very sure that this will help you a lot, not only during your student life, afterwards also. So with this two words, I wish you all the best in your life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now I would like to call upon Dr. Mahadesh B. Madiwala sir for Uttishtata Jagrata song.
Morning, everyone. उत्तिष्ठत जागृत मनुजा उत्तिष्ठत जागृत मनुजा उत्तिष्ठत जागृत ಗುರಿಯನ್ನು ಸೇರುವವರೆಗೂ ನೀ ಅರೆಕ್ಷಣ ನಿಲ್ಲದೆ ಮುನ್ನಡೆಸಕನೆ ಉತ್ತಿಷ್ಠತ ಜಾಗೃತ ಮನುಜ ಉತ್ತಿಷ್ಠತ ಜಾಗೃತ ನಿನ್ನಯ ಗುರಿಯು ಆತ್ಮದರ್ಶನ ನಿನ್ನೊಳಗೆ ಇದೆ ಆರತುನ ನಿನ್ನಯ ಗುರಿಯು ಆತ್ಮದರ್ಶನ ನಿನ್ನೊಳಗೆ ಇದೆ ಆರತುನ ಬನ್ನ ಪಡುತ್ತ ಈ ಕ್ಷುದ್ರ ಜೀವನದಿ ಬನ್ನ ಪಡುತ್ತ ಈ ಕ್ಷುದ್ರ ಜೀವನದಿ ಇನ್ನು ತೊಳಲದಿರು ಮುನ್ನಡೆ ಸಖನೆ ಉತ್ತಿಷ್ಠತ ಜಾಗೃತ ಮನುಜ ಉತ್ತಿಷ್ಠತ ಜಾಗೃತ ಮಮತೆಯ ಈ ದೇಹವೇ ನೀನೆಂದು ಭ್ರಮಿಸದಿರೈ ನೀ ಎಂದೆಂದು ಮಮತೆಯ ಈ ದೇಹವೇ ನೀನೆಂದು ಭ್ರಮಿಸದಿರೈ ನೀ ಎಂದೆಂದು ಅಮರ ಆತ್ಮನಿ ಅಮೃತ ಪುತ್ರನೇ ಅಮರ ಆತ್ಮನೇ ಅಮೃತ ಪುತ್ರನೇ ಅಮಲಾನಂದದಿ ಪರಿಪೂರ್ಣನುಡಿ ಉತ್ತಿಷ್ಠತ ಜಾಗೃತ ಮನುಜ ಉತ್ತಿಷ್ಠತ ಜಾಗೃತ ಮನುಜ ಉತ್ತಿಷ್ಠತ ಜಾಗೃತ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I request today's chief guest, Shri VEERESHANANDA Saraswati SWAMIJI, for address the gathering.
ओम पवित्रं चरितं यस्याः पवित्रं जीवनं तथा पवित्रता स्वरूपिण्यै तस्यै कुर्मो नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु श्रद्धारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। Salutations at the holy feet of Divine Almighty. My respects to Sister Dr. Anita, our Honorable Vice Principal of this esteemed institution. Love and respects to Brother Mahatesh, who is not only a good organizer but a good singer too. My love and good wishes to the children who are delivering their Master of Ceremony responsibility here. And my respects to all the teaching fraternity who have assembled here along with the students. And my love and respects, my good wishes to all the students, including our two ex-students of our school in Mysore. It's really nice to be a part of today's program with all of you. I was introduced as per my request in a brief way, and one sentence was a bit missing while I was introduced to you. Most important sentence, which I like very much. I happen to be a visiting professor in Rupattunga University. I am teaching philosophy of Swami Vivekananda to degree students, that 413 in number. And this has given me a great satisfaction. Twice a week I take class, 4 hours per day. Last Sunday, I mean to say that was on 22nd of this month, all my students belonging to this open elective subject had come to Tumkur for a one-day workshop based on the theme Make Men and Make Nation. Today's purpose of our gathering here is in connection with the birthday celebration of Swami Vivekananda. Government of India has declared Vivekananda's Jayanti as National Youth Day. Swami Vivekananda is a very great icon for the youths, not only in India, but also outside. Upon invitation to deliver lectures, I have traveled in 10 countries 6 times. I was on the occasion of 150th birthday of Swami Vivekananda in Italy in 2012. I was surprised to see the release of a book in Italian language on the subject Life and Teachings of Vivekananda. I have delivered lectures in foreign universities, including Oxford. Very surprisingly, I come across so many students in a huge number all over the world, whether it is National University of Singapore in Singapore University, whether it is Sun Moon University in Seoul, South Korea, whether it is Turin and Genova University in Italy, Oxford in London, everywhere, the students are very fond of knowing about Vivekananda. They trust Vivekananda. They want to imbibe the ideas propounded by Swamiji. And this really speaks that the youths are very much in need of an ideal for their future life and future endeavors. And to begin with, I feel very proud and very happy to bring to your kind notice that Vivekananda happened to be from the family of advocates. His great-grandfather was an advocate. His grandfather was an advocate. Father was an advocate. And Swami Vivekananda also studied first law. He was a graduate of Calcutta Scottish Church College. Later on, he completed his education from Presidency College of Calcutta. If Vivekananda would not have become a monk, I think he would have been a lawyer like you. So be proud that Vivekananda belongs to the fraternity of the lawyers and the family of lawyers. And I insist because with my experience of more than 34 years after my graduation from the University of Mysore in the subject of electronics and communication engineering, I have addressed more than 15 lakh students all over the world. In the nearest future, in another 1 month, I am completing 8,000 programs in my 34 years of spiritual service. 85 to 90% of my programs were for students and teachers. So this has given me a great experience, great faith, great confidence that the youths who are in the peak of their health, they really need proper guidance, proper motivation, because they want to channelize, they want to accelerate and motivate their youthful days. My dear friends, college is not something like Kala Kaliyo age. Kannada, if you can follow, you can easily enjoy this statement what I did just now. How many of you don't know Kannada? Will you raise your hands? Of course. College is not something like spending much of your time outside the classrooms. If you spend time outside the classrooms, we don't consider you as outstanding students. You may be standing outside the class, that doesn't mean that you are outstanding students. Okay? And this is the crucial time of your life. Very critical time. But I enjoyed your singing. It was very nice. I think you happen to be a musician. You have learned music. Very good, very good. The very voice will reveal out how much control she has on singing. Even Mahendresh sung very well. It goes without saying. And Amita Madam's words were also very heart-touching. You all know, you enjoyed it. She very politely said, I have not been invited for guiding and motivating you. Swamiji is here and telling so, she motivated you to a great extent. That is her greatness. So to start with, why we give so much of importance to a personage like Swami Vivekananda? It is National Yuva Diwas. In the year 1985, Government of India declared Jan 12th as National Youth Day. Later on, government was very much bent upon extending this celebration for a week, and they called it as National Youth Week. I was telling you that I am teaching philosophy of Vivekananda as an open elective subject in Upatunda University, Bangalore, in exactly opposite to Reserve Bank in Upatunda Road near Gyarsa. I come across, well, since I teach exclusively Vivekananda for the students, the life and teachings of Vivekananda, what I am thoroughly studying, has sincerely helped me to think over what exactly needed for our younger generation right now. The word Vivekananda has become a synonym to the word strength, faith, confidence, nationality, and achievement. I insist all of you to select 4 or 5 excellent books pertaining to Vivekananda. If you are very much willing, I can organize one book exhibition, come sale in your college. One day let us have a display of some very good literature here, so that you can have a look at it, and please select some of the books, and they will definitely help you in planning your youthful days properly, in properly making your energies to accelerate in the proper sense. That is exactly what we need. Today, you cannot define education merely as an art of how to write and read. Education cannot be confined only for reading and writing. Education is not mere literacy program. Rather, one great thinker by name Alvin Toffler, he beautifully defines education as a wonderful process where you are capable of organizing your knowledge in a very moral and ethical way. You see the definition? Unless and until you learn how to organize your knowledge in a moral and ethical way, you are not completely an educated man. Swami Vivekananda was a great personage who could inspire people from different facets of life, different facets of our society. Swamiji influenced scientists, Jagdish Chandra Bose, Hiram Maxim in America, so many great scientists, they were highly motivated by Vivekananda. Business people like John D. Rockefeller in America, J.N. Tata in India, they were highly motivated by Swami Vivekananda. Freedom fighters like Gandhi, Nehru, Chakravarti Rajgopalachar, Subhash Chandra Bose, Aravinda Ghosh, Balagangadhara Tilak, they were all highly influenced by Vivekananda in the field of freedom movement. Educationalists like Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan and so many luminaries in those days were highly influenced by Vivekananda. Women like Margaret Nobel, who later on became Sister Nivedita. In the foreign land also, so many people, they were highly motivated by Swami Vivekananda's great philosophy of life. When we say philosophy, the word philosophy doesn't mean it is a subject for those people who have maximum white hair on their head. It is not like that. Philosophy of life is a lifelong process. If you can understand what exactly education is, then you will understand the word education, philosophy, yoga, meditation, life, they are all but complementary. I want to quote the words of Mortimer Adler, the chairman for the committee entrusted to prepare the Encyclopedia Britannica in several volumes. In the foreword, he beautifully writes, The real education of any student will start after he quits the college. What is surprise? The real education starts after you quit the college. Immediately he continues his analysis. Then you may ask me, what is the purpose of going to college all these years? By going to college, you will have two great benefits. The first benefit is, by going to college, you can have the enhancement in your intellectual curiosity. You can have acceleration in your intellectual curiosity. Your intelligence get enhanced. You will be very curious to know things in plenty. You want to analyze the things on the proper basis, and you want to draw the logical conclusion in a very befitting manner. Okay, this is the first benefit you come across. The second benefit and most important benefit is, it will teach you a lesson whereby you will come to know that education is not confined to a particular period of time, rather it is a lifelong exercise. Education is a lifelong exercise. It is not confined to marks cards, graduation certificates, or post-graduation certificates, or any convocation certificate after the theoretical aspect of completing our learning. Rather, it is a lifelong process. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna said, till I get sleep in the midnight, I study. Till I die, up to my last breath, I would like to learn. So learning process cannot be confined to 200 pages notes or 6 subjects in the final year or something like answer 6 questions out of 10, what that appears in our annual papers. When we were studying in National College, Basungudi, Bangalore, mathematics was our passion. In the examinations, at the top of the question paper, they used to print this instruction. Answer 6 questions out of 10. We had so much of passion for mathematics. We boldly used to write before answering the questions, my dearest sir, you choose any 6 answers out of 10. And then we used to completely answer the question paper. And I was fortunate to have 100 out of 100 for more than half a dozen times in my life in the subject of mathematics. That really speaks about how much you love your subject. Not only with the point of earning more marks in it, scoring better marks in the subject, rather than do you really love the substance in the subject? Can you transform the information of the subject into knowledge and wisdom to manage the future endeavors very successfully? There exactly you come across the greatest guidance of Vivekananda. Vivekananda defined life as the unfoldment and development of a being under the circumstances tending to press it down. My dear children, the nature can fulfill your needs, but not your greeds. These are the words of Gandhi. The nature will give you everything that is needed for you. If you are greedy, even nature miserably fails to supply the greedy things for you. So life is a great education. The external nature wants to control you. The internal nature wants to control you. Your own attitude in the morning differs from your attitude in the afternoon and evening too. Whatever you determine to do in the morning, you will change your pattern of working in the afternoon, and in the evening, finally you get out, you come out with some other different opinion. That means to say, it is not that easy to keep your thought current in a proper, ethical, disciplined way. How can you manage that? When you come across so many meritorious students committing suicide in a city like Bangalore or Mumbai, how do you define the success in education? You please define success in education sincerely. You must know this. But then how do you define success? Albert Einstein defined life as more than a life of success. I respect a life of values. What does it mean? Unless and until your life becomes moral and ethical, we will not be in a position to discriminate between what is right and what is wrong. At the same time, when you are not capable of finalizing the right things, Discarding all the wrong things, that is the first step for our progressive journey. In the first step, you have to discriminate between what is right and wrong. Excellent. You are successful in determining the right, keeping the wrong things aside. Second step is you must bend upon, you must be committed. I don't know why you are talking, last two. If you are not interested, I will send you out. You want to become lawyers to dictate law to the people of the society in future. I'm observing you are talking. This is nonsense. This is termed as nonsense. You are grown-up children. You are 20 plus now. You are eligible to vote and select the Prime Minister like Narendra Modi. But you don't know how to behave in the class. You are laughing, talking, doing everything except listening to this. Got it? Common sense is not common to all. This is a beautiful ambience, a great institution known for quality, wisdom. We must introspect whether we fit to sit in this assembly, to listen to Vivekananda. It is not a market yard. See, there was a thought interval because of that. Where did I stop? So, pardon. Albert Einstein says, more than a life of success, I respect a life of values. How can you value your life? If this is a commodity in the market, it was available for 10,000 rupees last year. If the rate has gone to 12,000 rupees now, how do you value this? There was a rise of 2,000 rupees in the cost of the material, what it was earlier. But how do you value your life? It should be a graph of elevation. See, in the first phase of your life as a human being, you had ample of opportunities to get the support from your parents, teachers, the elderly people in the society. They guided you, they motivated you, they channelized all your energies in a proper way. Thereby, you came to know that you are something like a seed. The seedling process took place, the sapling started sprouting, slowly it became a plant, and now it has become a huge tree. The second phase of life is the tree must give back to the society, to the external nature, what all it would acquire in the early days of its upcoming. You are all growing children. You are all the most and the greatest hope for the society. Children of today are the greatest human resource of tomorrow. You will be not individuals. You are the human resource. You will not be individuals. You will be the institutions. One judgment from your bench, just one judgment can change the scenario of the country at large. You must have that greatest vision of your future. You will not be just LLB or LLM in future. You will be trusted. Have you heard about Nani Palkiwala? Have you heard? Can you quote at least 2 books authored by him? So she is referring to the academic subject. Before memory fades. Wonderful. Any other simple books written by Nani Palkiwala? Yes, good. Any general book written by him, which is very much aspired by even the general public in the society, apart from lawyers and judges. I have gone through many of his books. I have gone through his papers after the several budgets in Government of India. Wankhede in Mumbai used to find the same attendance what it observed during international cricket matches when Nani Palkiwala was invited to speak on the latest budget that was given by Government of India. Nani Palkiwala has written 2 books, excellent books, which are very much applicable for the public affairs. We the people, we the nation. Please make a note of it. You please search for the book and study it. In that book, in We the People, I studied it. We the People happened to be the old book when he was alive. We the Nation recently got published, probably after his demise. I love the analytical approach he puts forth in making the things more clear. He has spoken on the occasion of Shankar Jayanti, on the occasion of Vivekananda Jayanti. He has delivered lectures in more than a dozen universities outside India during convocation. And in one of his lectures, he says, when we were students, there was leakage of our school buildings, but today there is even leakage of our question papers. In one of his lectures, he boldly says, you can pardon a politician, but not a man belonging to law. He says, the society has to tolerate a man of law for at least 35 to 40 years, even though he is inducted, and a lawyer for a period of half a century, if his health is good. You have to tolerate. I'm using his own words. This means to say, this very clearly indicates that how important you are in the society. I have great association with Dr. Justice M. Venkatachalaya, Padma Vibhushan, who was the founder chairman for Human Rights Commission, Government of India, who served as the Chief Justice of India, Supreme Court of India. I have the association with our Justice Ramajois, Justice Srinivas Rao, Justice N. Kumar, who recently got retired, Justice Manjunath, who is no more, Justice Krishna Bhatt from Puttur, Vitla near Puttur. So many judges of your High Court and Supreme Court are very much associated with us. One gentleman by name Pinaki Ghosh in Supreme Court, he happened to be our old student in Calcutta Ramakrishna Mission. He is the person who introduced a law whereby the children are very much instructed to take care of their parents and not to send them onto the streets. Pinaki Ghosh, you search in Google, you will find it. So many people are associated with us, with Ramakrishna movement. Datta was invited twice, quite a good number of times in Bangalore Ashram to deliver lectures. And this speaks about the importance of great luminaries in the field of law. I had invited Dr. Subramaniam, who happened to be Vice Chancellor in Calcutta in one of the universities. Earlier he was law university chairman here in Karnataka. Okay. So I'm very much acquainted with your field also. Nani Palkiwala's book I was referring to, We the People and We the Nation. Excellent book. He was an ardent follower of Vivekananda. He used to write to the then Prime Minister of India, my dear Indira Gandhi. When she was the sitting Prime Minister, Nani used to write, my dear Indira. While addressing her, he used to write, my dear Indira. That speaks about what a great personality he was. So you must always keep this in mind and see that your responsibility will be a greater one in the society. I was telling you about what Vivekananda defined life as. He says, every human being is expected to study three most important sciences. The first science is called the physical science. You must learn how to behave with the external nature. The nature will give you everything for your upcoming. You must respect the external nature. You must love the external nature. And you must consume, make the best benefit of the external nature without harming it. You see, a bee fly, it goes to a very successful flower. It will draw the nectar without creating any problem to the flower. Very reverentially, it will get back. Your attitude in the nature should be like that. You are eligible to make the best use of the external nature, but not at the cost of damaging it. That is the lesson you have to learn from studying the physical science, which deals with our association, our relationship with the external environment. The second one is science of values. Man is a social animal. Who said this?
Aristotle.
Man is a social animal. Plato. Plato said man is a social animal. Aristotle said man is a political animal. Sigmund Freud said man is a sexual animal. Alvin Toffler said man is an animal capable of producing machines. Karl Marx said man is an economic animal. But India said, Vedanta says, man is a spiritual species. Beyond all this, the real identity of human is spiritual species. So man is a social animal. We have to live together. Our attitude may vary from individual to any other brother in my society. But I cannot give up the association of people and I cannot individually live for a longer time. We are mutually dependent. We should know that. Maybe our options, our way of thinking may differ. But the thing is, at some point of time, we look into the average. ಈ ಮದುವೆ ಜಾತಕ ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಜಾತಕ ಕೂಡ ಬಂದಿದೆ 21 ಲಕ್ಷಣ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ದೇಸೆ. See, this is the average. We have to live together properly. We have to adjust with other people. We have to convince other people about what we think good. And we have to appreciate the good of others also. So this is the social life. Man is a social animal. We have to live together. So to do that, you must inculcate the study of science of values. It does not end there itself. The final, but the most important. In the welcome speech, I think you mentioned one sentence. Last but not the least. Who said that? That is not a right usage. Please don't use it. Generally, it looks a bit attractive, but in the proper English language, last but not the least doesn't not only sound good, but it is not the right usage. Do you know the schedule in your class? Schedule? In your school, you have the schedule here. I used the word schedule 8 years back. I'm 58 now. I used the word schedule. Immediately, one of my devotee's daughter doing her MA English from Shishodapur College, she corrected me and told me, Swamiji, this is not schedule, it is schedule. I learned at the age of 50 that it is not schedule, but schedule. I told her, I want to thoroughly study Vivekananda. She said, no, thoroughly is a wrong usage. It is thoroughly. See the difference between British and American English. We have to learn. Because I told you in the beginning itself, it will teach you a lesson whereby you will come to know that education is a lifelong process. Lifelong process. Okay? And final science I was mentioning about was the science, spiritual science. What does it mean? You believe the external world for your survival. You have ample of advantages from the external nature. Secondly, you believe all the brethren in the society, the people who are living with you. Then there is a greater source of energy which you have to believe more than the external nature and more than the people with whom you are living. What is that? You must believe yourselves. Unless and until you believe yourselves, you cannot survive. This is what we call as Atma Shraddha in Sanskrit. This is self-dependence. This is ultimately renewed as self-respect, self-esteem, self-confidence, and self-vigilance. You study about vigilance in your law, but you don't study about self-vigilance, which is a spiritual terminology. More than the people catch hold of your mistakes in your day-to-day life, are you so sincere about your conscience that whatever the mistakes you did throughout the day, can you have an introspection about that before you go to sleep in the night and determine that you will not commit those mistakes tomorrow? That is self-vigilance. You are studying in Bangalore. Your parents are far away from here. As long as you are together, they used to correct you whenever they found some mistake in you during your day-to-day affair. Today, physically, you are not together. But the moment you have an opportunity to commit a mistake, can you remember your parents who corrected you at that juncture when you committed this mistake earlier? That speaks about self-vigilance. If you think my parents are very far, they cannot come to know what I am doing, the blunders in Bangalore, I can enjoy life. My dear friends, any enjoyment, if at all, it should be an entertainment. It should lead you to enlightenment. Unless and until your entertainment becomes an object, a source of enlightenment, you don't trust it. It will take you to deteriorate. You must be very conscious. Now you have reached a stage where the parents cannot keep an eye on you. The teachers cannot threaten you and cut your marks in the exam. I know how to cut your tail. Such things will not be valid and it is not in syllabus in the truest sense. You have to control yourselves. You have to manage yourselves. And you have to prove your worth to the best of your ability. So the spiritual science makes you to be very proud about your own self and to know more about your capabilities. You scored 45 out of 100 last time. By hard efforts, you can enhance this to 65. It is the difference. The difference between 65 and 45 is just a matter of hard work. There is nothing parallel to hard work. There is no substitute to hard work. Swami Vivekananda says, more and more you honor and imbibe spiritual values, you can manage the first two sciences beautifully and successfully. To manage the external nature. That is why olden days in Indian tradition, we used to worship the trees. We used to worship the rivers. We used to worship the external nature. Worshipping is something like expressing our highest respect to that particular identity. I respect my mother. I worship my mother. I go down to the feet of my mother for the reason, unless and until she gave birth to me, there would not be a human birth for me. And she catered all my basic needs in my childhood days. I was eating mud on the street. She fed me rasam. She fed me rice. She fed me everything. And today, I have been trained to that extent that food is not only the necessity for my physical body, it is something like the prasadam offered to me. It is as a prasadam to me that was offered to God earlier during the puja time. Got it? Are you comfortable with my words? See, yes? Am I disturbing your sleep? Somebody else, please be. I doubt whether you are breathing or not. Proper breathing. You want me to teach Kapalbhati? Relaxing? Sit straight. You're an young girl. 90 degrees you must know. Not like old looking young. Young andre. Young yango kutskodadalla. Alva? Houtane? Yes. So spiritual science is the mother of all other sciences. Do you respect your inner voice? Do you really reverentially consider your opinion as a voice of confidence and vigor? Do you value your own voice, your own opinion? That is spiritual science. The philosophy of life says, I may help you to go to the terrace by climbing the ladder. I may provide you a golden ladder, a silver ladder, any powerful ladder for that matter. But my immediate question is, do you have proper strength in your legs and thighs to ascend the ladder? I may provide you a golden ladder. But here the question is not the material with which the adder is made up of. The immediate question is, do you have strength in your thighs, in your legs, to climb the ladder and go to the terrace? This is where exactly the importance of spiritual science appears. My dear friends, with little common sense about science, you all know there are 118 elements in a periodic table today. Unless it was 105 when we were students 25 years, 30 years back, 35 years back. Now it is 118. You all know the only source for all these 118 elements of the periodic table is our Mother Earth. Got it? But the second very surprising but bitter truth is no material is obtained in the purest form in nature. It is obtained in the material, raw material form. We have to extract it from earth. It should be. Artists ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನನ್ನ ಬಾಯಿ ಬೇರೆಯವರು ಕಾಣಬಾರದು ಅಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡ ಕೈ ಅಡ್ಡ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹೆದರಿಕೆ ಆಯ್ತು ನಿನ್ ಮುಂದೆ ಕೂತಿರೋಳು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನಿನ್ ಬಾಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊಟ್ಟೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾಳು ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ ಬೇರೆ ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಆಕಳಿಸಿದವ್ರು ಯಾರು ಕನ್ನಡದವ್ರು ಹೆಂಗ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು ನನಗೆ ನಾನ್ ಕನ್ನಡಿಗ ಸಾಕಳಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಅವಾಗ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗೋ ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು ಇದೇನ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಆಕಳಿಸ್ಬಾರ್ದು ಅಷ್ಟು ಫ್ರೀಡಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಇಂಡಿಸಿಪ್ಲಿನ್ ಅದ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವ ಡೌಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೂ ನಾಲ್ಗೆ ಇದೆ ನಿಮಗೂ 4-6 ಹಲ್ಲಗಳಿದೆ ನಮ್ಗೇನಾದ್ರೆ ಡೌಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದು ಪಾಪ ಈ ಎಂಟು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಾಯ್ ತೆಗೀರಿ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಅವ್ರ ಮುಂದೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಸಣ್ಣ ಪುಟ್ಟ ಮ್ಯಾನರಿಸಮ್ ಅಪ್ಪ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಸಣ್ಣ ಪುಟ್ಟ ಮ್ಯಾನರಿಸಮ್ ತುಂಬಾ ಚಿಕ್ಕದು ಅಲ್ವಾ ಮೀಸಿರಂತ ಮಕ್ಕಳೇ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾವ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು ಸೊ ಸ್ಪಿರಿಚುವಲ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಈ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಯು ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಮೆಡಿಟೇಟ್ ಆನ್ ದಿಸ್ ವಂಡರ್ಫುಲ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. These are the 3 sciences Swami Vivekananda insisted every young man and women to study. I want to quote the words of Ortega y Gasset. Very rarely you come across a name of his personality. Is there anyone who knows about him? Ortega y Gasset, a wonderful personality, who authored a book called The Mission of Universities. It is a UPSC question for your information. Ortega y Gasset, the author of the book, The Mission of Universities. In that book, he beautifully defines what is the purpose of university education. It's a wonderful idea. Of course, in later years, he did this research. A few years later, Vivekananda's utterance of 3 sciences. He says, every graduate of any university must have the minimum knowledge in 5 fundamental areas. You may be an engineering graduate or a medical graduate or agricultural graduate, law graduate, management graduate. They are all immaterial. Are you a graduate? You must have the minimum knowledge in 5 fundamental aspects. Even an arts graduate must have knowledge about this. Even a science graduate must have. What are those 5 fundamental? Every graduate, irrespective of the subject in which he has studied, he must possess knowledge about these 5 fundamental areas. The first one is the physical scheme of the universe. Physical scheme of the universe that deals with a little bit physics and chemistry. You must know about gravitational force. Even if you are a law graduate, if somebody asks you, uncle, Auntie, what is gravitational force? No, that was not my subject. You asked me about IPL, IPS, IPC. There you fail. You must know minimum about gravitational force. You must know the velocity of light. You must know what G is equal to 9.81. You must know the minimum. What is P, pi? You must know. Chemistry, what is so? Chemical equilibrium, you must know. In a reversible reaction, when the velocity of the forward reaction becomes equal to the velocity of the backward reaction, there is a chemical equilibrium. You must know minimum about law of mass action, Snell's law, Kirchhoff law, Kirchhoff is the maestro. You must know about exothermic reaction, endothermic reaction. You must know what a photon is. What is photon? Photon is light. You must know that any material can exist in four forms: solid, liquid, gaseous, and plasma. Excellent. That is. The common sense we must have about physics, chemistry. This is the physical scheme of the nature. The next one is you must have the fundamental theme of organic life, biology. Biology. What is biology? Study of plants and animals. What is the name, scientific name of a tiger? Yes? Phyllis tiger. See, my student is telling that because he studied in Mysore Ramakrishna. Do you know the scientific name of a cat? Phyllis? Domestica. Fine. Man? Homo sapien. You must know at least half a dozen of scientific names. You must enjoy your knowledge, not only from the point of your examination. Sorry, exam. No, not like that. You must enjoy your knowledge and wisdom. So biological knowledge is a must. You must know what chlorophyll is, what is plasma, what is photosynthesis, what is urogenital system, what are aves and mammals. Simple biological knowledge about that. Vertebrates. What is a unicellular organism? What are the first aid principles, postulates? What are the phenomena propounded by Darwin? You must know the knowledge. Okay? See, I being a monk, I can teach engineering subjects and some of the subjects which I'm in brief, I'm referring to you. I'm a teacher. I'm an honorable teacher. You give me your LLB book. Within 3 months, I'll get ready. And Mahadesh, you can extend me an invitation to speak some wonderful topic of law. That all depends on our commitment, our passion. I can teach you music. If you are really interested, you can inculcate such wonderful habits. You can accommodate for time. He is a busy man who finds time for our good work. Many people say, I don't have time, sir. Please don't trouble me. I don't have time even to gossip. I don't have sufficient time even to look into my WhatsApp and Facebook. Before going to the Facebook, you see your face in the mirror. Is it masculine? Is it optimistic? Is it really reveals a percentage of strength and confidence? This is the point where exactly we have to go for an introspection. The third aspect is the historic process of human species. You must have minimum knowledge about history. What happened in 1799? Yes, wonderful. Tipu Sultan was murdered. He was killed brutally. 1453?
Ottoman Turks. Constantinople.
Ottoman Turks captured Constantinople. Thereby they closed the gate of trade between East and West. 1493. Vasco da Gama invented a sea route to India. Columbus discovered American soil. There is a book titled The Book Unopened, written by an American by name Start. He writes, no doubt Columbus discovered American soil, but Vivekananda discovered American soul. He writes, a book is the only gift which feels afresh even after 1,000 times opening it. If you have any other gift, you can open it once. But a book is such a peculiar gift, you can open it 1,000 times and enjoy. Every time you open the book, you open the gift. So you must have the historical knowledge, minimum historical knowledge. 1773,
Regulating Act.
Regulating Act. Do you study about Sarada Act? Sarada Act in LLB. Harivilas Sarada, an ardent disciple of Vivekananda, who was initiated by Vivekananda, he later on assisted Dr. B.R. Ambedkar during our constitutional works, and he changed the marriage age of the women from 12 to 14 upon the request of Vivekananda. You should know this. Sarada Act is very popular in law. Sarada Act was named after Harivilas Sarada, who was a great disciple of Vivekananda. The fourth aspect is the structure and functioning of the social life. You must know. That is sociology. Next aspect is the planned purpose of this universe, which includes philosophy. You must know something about philosophy. Give your blood, we will give you freedom. Who said this? Wonderful. Who was the author of the paper Maratha and Kesari? See, this is the beauty I expected from you. The wonderful response. More and more you inculcate such capabilities, you will enjoy knowledge and wisdom. Every mark you secure in your academics must be out of your hard work. Many a time I quote Thomas Mustard, a lawn tennis world champion from Australia. Thomas Mustard was a champion in Olympics. Later on, he was miserably wounded in a road accident. He was admitted to a hospital in Sydney, a city in Australia. Half a dozen world-renowned surgeons were invited to do the surgery. They gave him anesthesia, and everything was set for the surgery. They were whispering, what a bad luck. A great player has lost every hope in his life. He cannot even dream about running anymore in his life. Keep aside playing lawn tennis. He was a world champion. Today, he is almost dead. But we should do our might to save his life. But my dear friends, that was a discussion going on among the surgeons from different nations. At least we shall try our best to rescue his life. This Thomas Mustard, who was given anesthesia, was, to a certain extent, he was listening, he was capable of listening to their words, but he was not in a position to respond to it. He felt very helpless at that moment. Surgery was properly carried on. He was discharged to the house. He was bedridden for more than 6 months. Later on, he slowly stood up, independently started walking. Then he started doing jogging. After 1.5 years, he entered the playground. After 3.5 years, again, he got into Olympics and bagged quite a good number of gold medals and became again the world champion. The newspaper people, the press people came to him. Nina ಯಶಸ್ಸಿನ ಗುಟ್ಟೇನೋ ಇದರಟ್ಟು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಗುಟ್ಟು ಇದರಟ್ಟು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. He opened a paper from his pocket, first one. This was the health certificate that was given to me by renowned world doctors, that I cannot work play anymore in my future life. God blessed me to disprove the health certificate given by the renowned surgeons. Arthatidya, he teared it off. Then he said, great commitment, conviction, and very hard to find an ally called guts. These were the three major reasons for my coming back to the world scenario and prove myself again the champion in Olympics. See, this speaks about the philosophy of life. Now, don't you feel philosophy is required for you or not? A man who was severely wounded, who had lost every hope, and even the renowned doctors said he cannot play anymore. He came back to the playground again. He recovered to the extent more than what was expected from even the renowned medical research people of that time. And again, he went back to his playground, beautifully got himself trained, came back to the farm, again displayed his wonderful art of playing, and finally became a champion of the world. My dear friends, just imagine, sky is our limit. That's why I told you in the beginning, Vivekananda's name has become a synonym to the word strength, confidence, everything, the youth. So you must know about philosophy. This is what Gasset says. You must know philosophy. You must know about culture. And finally he says, you must know about your religion also. Ortego Y. Gasset says, you must have the minimum fundamental knowledge about these 5 fields, irrespective of whatever the subject you study, which was your own option before getting into the university education. Swami Vivekananda, he was a meritorious student from Calcutta University. He was an ardent worshipper of truth, a man who respected character very much, the personality very much. He was an all-rounder. He was a cricketer. He was a football player. He was a great singer. He was a wrestler. He was a good human being. You should know, as a young man, at the age of 19, he was talk of the whole Calcutta city. Every friend of him used to admire him and respect him. He was well known among the younger generation in Calcutta. Since he was highly influenced by the Western education, here and there, he used to question people about the existence of God. Even he questioned father of Rabindranath Tagore, by name Devendranath Tagore. Sir, have you seen God? He said, I have not seen God, but you have the eyes of a yogi, you can try. This answer did not satisfy Narendranath, the college student in those days. He had one professor come principal by name Professor William Hastie, who was teaching a lesson, a poem, authored by William Wordsworth. The title of the poem was Excursion. In the poem, William Wordsworth defines about Bhava Samadhi, the state of superconsciousness. Okay, something pertaining to the transcendental state of our mind. Professor was not successful in defining and explaining that, but he did not give up the ray of hope. He told the students, there is a sage by name Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa at the outskirts of Calcutta city in a place called Dakshineshwar. You can go there, meet him, and know much about this concept of Bhava Samadhi. He enjoys Bhava Samadhi very often, he said. A British professor gave a hint about Bhava Samadhi, and a person who is enjoying that, and who was none other than Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Narendranath, the pre-monastic name of Vivekananda, he came in contact with Sri Ramakrishna, and the first and the foremost question he asked of Sri Ramakrishna was, Sir, have you seen God? Sri Ramakrishna said, yes, I have seen God. I have seen God. You should know, I have seen him more intensely than what I'm seeing you. This answer, it was a big surprise for Narendranath. And to certain extent, he got contented. He felt satisfied and said, "Sir, can you show me God?" Sri Ramakrishna said, "Definitely I can show God to you. But there is a process, there is a phenomenon, there is a special pattern of life. Because as you know, in muddy water, you cannot find your reflection. The water should be purified. You must add some potash alum to that. Unless the dust particles get settled at the bottom, you cannot see your own face in the muddy water. Like that, life has got a wonderful phenomenon. Life itself is a phenomenon. Spirituality is the mother of all sciences. Sri Ramakrishna says, whatever you study in the universities, that is the material science that speaks only about the truths pertaining to the senses. The sense-perceived truths you come across in physics, chemistry, mathematics, so on and so forth. But spiritual science is a science beyond sense perception. This really convinced Narendranath. Narendranath opted for psychology and psychiatry. He opted for Western history. He opted for English and Sanskrit in his degree course. And he was so fond of knowing the reality of history of the human all over the world. He studied without any prejudiced mind what was India earlier, what was the world earlier, what are the factors responsible for the downfall of his motherland. At the same time, what are the blunders committed by our rulers, like the British, who ruled more than 50 countries for a period of 400 years all over the world, even though their great prophet said, "Love your neighbor as thyself." That was the philosophy. But they started hating their neighbor to a great extent and torturing, damaging every culture of the places which they occupied during their war. And finally, that was the great disastrous situation created in the history of humankind. But today, do you know the pathetic condition of Britain? I was in Britain a few years back, 2018, before the COVID. I had more than 45 programs in 1.5 months in London and suburb of London. The highest suffering country today in the world is Britain, because they exploited the wealth of more than 50 countries for 500 years. They, after leaving every country aside and getting back to Britain, today terrorism has increased a lot in England, and they are not in position to manage the people ethically. And even today, democracy and the princely administration both are parallelly moving, and terrorism is increasing day by day. Today, the most affected country with respect to terrorism is Britain. I have seen in my own eyes, I have heard from a very enlightened and experienced people in London that London is no more a safe place, a place of peace. So you see, Vivekananda studied the world history in a very pristine mindset. And he appreciated all the good of the world, whatever he came across during his studies. Here, you must understand why Vivekananda studied those things. Because you can see his future years. He traveled all along the length and breadth of the country. He studied the life of common people all over the country. Later on, he came to a conclusion that we being ruled by the Westerners, I may teach our people philosophy, religion, spirituality, but it is not suffice. I must go to the Western countries and teach them the greatness of India. And at the same time, I must identify what the blunders they are committing so that there will be exchange of science and religion in between. I shall give them religion and spirituality. In turn, they must give me science for the upcoming of my country. You see, Swami Vivekananda, he insisted J.N. Tata to start a research center in Bangalore, and the result of which is Indian Institute of Science, what you find in Bangalore today. Vivekananda insisted Jamshedji Tata to pursue the research work. He insisted John D. Rockefeller of America to start a charitable organization. And he did it according to the advice of Vivekananda. John D. Rockefeller made a foundation called Rockefeller Foundation. Still, it is very effective in American scenario. They give scholarships to more than 10,000 poor students every year. They developed Chicago University and they extended helping hand to the African American blacks, whom you call as Negroes. It is not worth calling them Negroes. You should not use that word Negro. They are called African American black. Okay. So even today, this organization meant for charity is catering the educational needs of the black people in America. Not only that, they support the research work. There was a scientist who invented a disease-resistant and drought-resistant wheat during 1960s that saved the lives of thousands and thousands of people. Norman Borlaug is his name. He was given Nobel Prize for his wonderful research. He reverentially remembered Swami Vivekananda's name because it was Vivekananda who motivated John D. Rockefeller, and in turn Rockefeller helped the research work by funding the people who were involved in the research. So Vivekananda, you come across, has influenced so many sectors of the society. So his multifaceted personality should be a subject of sincere study among the younger generation. Have you heard about Confucius? Once Confucius was moving on a street, he came across a young person like you. He immediately asked that young man, "My young friend, where do I get good apples in your market?" Immediately that young person said, "Sir, this is Apple Street. You go there, you'll have plenty of good apples." Then he questioned again, "Where do I get good honey?" He said, "You have a honey street also. You can go there, you will get it." Finally, he asked the final question, "Where do I get good people?" The boy was answerless. Then Confucius said, "You want to become good? You follow me." Have you read about Jesus Christ's teachings? One day, a gentleman was moving on the banks of a lake. He observed a person who was indulged in catching fishes. He put his hand on the shoulder. That man who was engaged in shipping and fishing, he looked back. Then this gentleman asked him, "What are you doing?" "I am catching fishes," he said. Then this gentleman said, "You come with me. I shall teach you how to catch men." The gentleman who said this was Jesus, and the person who was involved in catching the fishes was Andrews, one of his disciples. See, great saints like Vivekananda, Sri Krishna, Shankaracharya, Buddha, Basaveshwara, such great luminaries will teach you how to catch men, how to catch the pulse of men. Yes, good, very good. How to catch the pulse of men, how to manage men. Managing men is management. What is the difference between ordinary and extraordinary? Just extra. There is a word extra. Extra efforts will take you to a level of genius. And you should know the whole world is in need of some light. Vivekananda, during his wandering days, he beautifully says, India alone has got that light. America can survive only on the basis of business. Japan can survive only on the basis of technology. England can survive only on the basis of politics. But India can survive only on the basis of religion and spirituality. If Indians neglect religion and spirituality, within 3 generations, India will perish and it will get reduced into zero. So, my dear friends, this is exactly where Swami Vivekananda insisted us to know more and more about our individual responsibilities and our greatest relationship with the universe. Christopher Isherwood, a great historian and a thinker in the West, he beautifully says, the nationalism propounded by Vivekananda was not nationalism in the phonetic sense. It was supranationalism and internationalism in the truest sense. Whatever Vivekananda has said, keeping Indians in mind, that is very much applicable for the whole humanity of the globe. Christopher Isherwood had greatest Swami Vivekananda. And as you all know, Swami Vivekananda insisted every young man and women to study Upanishads. Very frequently he used to say, I have quoted nothing but Upanishads. Go back to Upanishads. Once he met a sannyasi in Himalayas. That sannyasi said, sir, I had a very bad beginning in my life. I was a thief. But after coming in contact with a great saint called Pavahari Baba, I got my life transformed. That day, Vivekananda felt very much astonished to see a thief could transform himself into the life of a saint. Then he wrote beautifully in his diary, if you say every saint had a past, then every sinner must have a future. See, this is what we call as a spiritual evolution. You are all only enough of Darwin's phenomenon of evolution, which deals with a unicellular organism like amoeba becoming Homo sapien. But Vivekananda continues that evolution by telling that, as Darwin said, there is struggle for existence. The spiritual evolution says there is not only struggle for existence, rather it is struggle for expansion. Because expansion is life, contraction is death. Strength is life, weakness is death. Okay? So this is the message of strength. Swami Vivekananda used to tell every young man, I want to have the youngsters with muscles of iron, nerves of steel, intellect like electric current, and they must feel sincere to their backbone. With such 100 people, I can bring a revolution in the world. This is what Swami Vivekananda guided, the way he guided the younger generation. You must be very strong physically, mentally, intellectually, and all your physical, mental, and intellectual knowledge must be enclosed in the periphery of moral and ethical values. That is most important. That is why Swami Vivekananda said, education, we want that type of education by which character is formed. Character is the first requisite of education. Character illadre ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? ಬಿಡಾಡಿ ದನಗಳ ತರ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಟಲ್ ತರ ಓಡಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? Street cattle in supermarket, city market, they go to this stores, they pick some rotten vegetables, then they go to that store, they stand for a while, the owner will throw some vegetables on it, it will pick that, and then they to third store. Street cattle ತರ ಬದುಕಿದ್ರೆ ಗತಿ ಏನು? ಮನುಷ್ಯನಾಗಿ cattle ತರ ಬದುಕಬೇಕಾ? Think in a big way. Low aim is a crime. This is what Upanishad says. Think in a big way. Low aim is a crime. Vivekananda says we want that type of education by which character is formed. You must cater the process of inculcating great values, the ethics in life. Ultimately, that results in building a very strong and vibrant character. Because character energy is the mother of all other energies. Even Aristotle said, in my view, the success in life and success in education is mainly dependent on how much character you could acquire in the process of learning. Character. Education for character is a beautiful title of one of by which character is formed. Second point, strength of the mind is increased, intellect is expanded, and finally, by which one can stand on one's own feet. Your progress card is a pleasure card for your parents and a punishment card for you. Today's students are dependent on father's cash, mother's care, teacher's skill, or overkill. You go in search of notes. You don't aim for growing independently. You should know, ignorance is not innocence, but sin. Ignorance, ignoring good things is not innocence. Ignoring good things is not innocence, but sin. Secondly, ignorance is dangerous, but cultural ignorance is more dangerous. That is what Sri Rama said in Ramayana. Janani Janma Bhumishcha. My mother who gave birth to me, the place who gave birth to me, are more valuable and precious to me than the heaven. This speaks about the patriotic spirit everybody is expected to possess. Janani Janma Bhumishcha. Swargadapi Gariyasi. I love my country. I'm grazing from the pages of Rama, which is 25,000 years old. Vivekananda says it is more honorable to accept the defeat in the right path than trying for success through wrong means. More honorable to accept the defeat in the right path. Any failure is not fatal. Any success is not final. Failures will teach us new lessons of life. Success, many a time, it makes you more dull, and once you come across of success, then you ignore the adventurous attitude of life. You will say, I have plenty. I have achieved 92 out of 100. I need not work anymore. But the real story of life, the real success in life, is immediately asking you, my dear student, where did you lose those 8 marks? You just 92 out of 100. What about the 8 more marks? When I was a student, Olympics in Seoul took place in mid-80s. One gymnastic secured 8 gold medals. That time he received a telex message. In those days, there was no email, email, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, so on. She wrote to Miss World, wrote to this world champion. My dearest friend, I saw you in the television. You being the world champion in gymnastics, you have bagged 8 gold medals. I want to introduce myself to you. I am Miss World of 1985. I have thousands of letters from different parts of the country, world, who wants to marry me. They have appreciated my beauty, my success as Miss World, but I have kept all these letters aside. But I have fallen in love with you. After seeing your masculine temperament, your wonderful physique, and your achievement I read, I saw in the TV television, you secured 8 gold medals. Your face is very cheerful. You are a brave man. I love you very much. I want to marry you if you accept. She wrote to him. This gentleman received the telex message. He thoroughly studied that. He went to hotel, go get coffee. You love me. ಆಮೇಲೆ ತಂದೆ ತಾಯಿ ಹತ್ರ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೂರ್ಯ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಬದಲಾಯಿಸಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ನೀನ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಪಾಪ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಪಶ್ಚಿಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಟ್ಟಬೇಕು, ಅವ್ನು ಪೂರ್ವದಲ್ಲೇ ಹುಟ್ಟಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದು ನಾವು. ಅದೃಶ್ಯ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ ಮಾಡೋ ಪಾಪ ಕೆಲಸ. ಪಾಪ why should we shift some geographically to the west? Sunrise, let it take only in the east. Sunset will be in the west, as you all know. And these lovers, before marrying this, they appear before the parents and say, see, nobody can separate us. Our love is so covalent, big, strong covalent bond. Okay? Even sun may rise in the west, but the world cannot separate us. Then we used to say, you are doing that. Why do you insist sun to rise in west? Let it rise in east, it's okay. And you go according to your blunders west. Let it rise in east, it's okay. And you go according to your blunders. No, that is not the way. That is not the way. There is a principle in life. There is a principle in life. And you should know, finally, before I conclude, good goals should be properly identified in lives. And identifying good goals is the primary requisite. But the immediate need is you must find an excellent path to reach the good goals what you have chosen. Your goals may be excellent, but if the path is not proper and ethical, you will be a miserable failure. You know simple mathematics, plus into plus, plus. If the goal is plus, if the root is plus, plus into plus, the product will be plus. If the goal is plus, if the root is minus, minus into plus, the results are minus. If the goal is minus, and even though the root is plus, plus into minus, you will perish. Finally, if the goal is minus, and if the means are minus, minus into minus, minus into minus is plus according to mathematics. In reality of life, it is not plus, it is hopeless. Please, what is the purpose of life? The purpose of life is with purpose. You must have a proper purpose of your life. So this is what Vivekananda said. Before I conclude, last two sentences. Swamiji said, every great work has to pass through three stages. Ridicule. The moment you take up any good work, people will start laughing at you. They make you a joker. They belittle you. They talk all undue, unworthy words about you. You may be very much determined to continue your work, but you will have the cries of the fox in the society, in the midst of whom you have to live. Never get betrayed or worried about the cries of the foxes. You must always look into the roaring sound of a lion. A lion will roar. You should know the lion is the king of the forest. It can take care of, starting from an ant up to an elephant, it can control the world. You must be a lion and never a fox. Okay. Second point. What is that? Ridicule. You must continue without being upset by the unparliamentary words that may be from your friends and so-called the people with whom you have to live. And some discouraging words, the people with whom you have to live. And some discouraging words. Many a times some curses. You should withstand that. You should continue your journey without getting in any way disturbed in your attempts to march towards highest goal. Second aspect is opposition. If you cannot become a victim for the ridiculous words of the society, people will not keep quiet. They will slowly start opposing you. They start opposing you. They want to become obstacles in your path of success. You have to withstand. Again, continue your journey towards highest goal. Finally, you will end up with acceptance. Ridicule, please repeat. opposition, and acceptance. See, these are the three steps every successful man has to pass through. And without successfully passing through, you cannot be a man of success. Swami Vivekananda says, the nearest route to heaven is through hell. You have to fight. One American thinker, Mark Twain, a historian, says, courage is not running away from fear. Courage is not running away from fear. Courage is not absence of fear. Rather, it is welcoming fear, managing fear, establishing control over fear. See, this is what we call as courage. So Vivekananda says, if any individual to come up in life, or if any nation to come up in life, you must have these three factors. Telling that, I shall conclude. Conviction of the powers of goodness. You must have faith in good values, the ethical values, the moral values. They are something like a powerful magnet. You are like a piece of iron. When a piece of iron comes in contact with a magnet, it will acquire the properties of a magnet. Iron. When a piece of iron comes in contact with a magnet, it will acquire the properties of a magnet. Be in the company of good people. Be in the company of people with ethics and morality that will supplement your positive thought of coming up in life. Conviction of the powers of goodness. Please repeat. Fine. Second one is absence of jealousy, suspicion. Your weakness cannot be my strength, can never be my strength. I can never become strong just by spreading your weakness among the people with whom we live. Your weakness can never be my strength, but your strength can be a motivation for me to make myself more strong and vibrant. So absence of suspicion, jealousy. Jealousy is a pain, it cannot take you up in life. Absence of jealousy, repeat, and suspicion. Finally, help those who are good and who can do good. Be good first, please. You be good. You become very strong. Then help others to become good and strong. Be gods and help others to become strong. Be great and help others to become great. See, this is a psychological become great. See, this is a psychological aspect. This is an excellent aspect. Even psychology approves. My dear friends, with these words of Vivekananda, I shall thank our management for giving me this wonderful opportunity to be of management, for giving me this wonderful opportunity to be of some service on the day of National Yuva Diwas. I do love speaking to the younger generation, spending my time. I may scold the students at a particular point. See, this is confined to 4 walls, you should know. The only intention behind that is you should not get scolded in the outer world in future years. You can correct right now itself. If you ask, you will be a fool for a minute. If you don't ask, you will be a fool forever, is a very popular dictum in English. Tears, even tears in our eyes can teach great lessons in our life. Think mere happiness, never think as William Wordsworth rightly said, life is not a bed of roses alone. At the same time, it is not a bed of thorns alone. It all depends on how you plan your life and implement the things in your life. With these words, I wish all of you a great future and all success in your future endeavors. Once again, I thank Anita, Mahantesh, and all our faculty for giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts with you all, the thoughts of Swami Vivekananda. Thank you, one and all. Namaste.
If anybody have questions, you can ask.
Namaste, Swamiji. My question would be like how to increase your focus and concentration, because in my personal thing, I feel that somewhere I'm not focusing on things because my potential is not being utilized to the maximum extent.
Very good question. Perhaps a question of more or less all the people who have assembled here, and the people of this age also, even outside this auditorium. My dear friends, the answer is simple and straight. First of all, I must submit that I have great concern for you. I may not identify you by your name, but the purpose of accepting our invitation was exclusively with a great intention of giving you some confidence, some strength at this stage of your life, so that let us begin from beginning. You need not compare yourself with another meritorious achiever whom you are living. I expect you to compare yourself with what you are today in comparison with what you were yesterday. Thereby, can you identify the change within you? That is the need of the hour. Later on, a stage will come when the society will compare you with other people and they will recognize you. Coming to the question, this is a burning issue among the younger generation. She told me that she is not at this time. She is not in a position to concentrate properly. All the potentialities she is blessed with. I'm so happy, at least at this juncture, she has understood that she has no potentialities. You all have the potentiality. Absolutely, there is no doubt in that. You should always keep in your mind that God has created us with a purpose, and nobody being created without a purpose in life. God created with a purpose. We have a purpose. God will provide us the raw materials, but we have to create the finished goods. God will give you milk, and He will throw you to the world, a challenging world, which is water. Got it? Your milk, absolutely no doubt in that. Your milk, but the world is water. You have to survive in the world of water. As you all know, simple chemistry, once water gets associated with milk, milk will get diluted. No negativity for water, milk gets degenerated, deteriorated. It is retardation. How to stop that? There comes the purpose of life, ethics of life. Here what you have to do is, milk should be properly heated. It should be converted into curds. And later on, by churning process, you must get butter out of your milk. I mean the curds. Once you get the butter, you throw the butter onto the water. It will float. Water was earlier an enemy to milk. Today, water has become a protector to butter. Unless and until milk gets protector to butter. Unless and until milk gets transformed into butter, you have to face the challenges. You said you have to face the challenges. You said you are not in a position to concentrate your studies, but you have concentration that is being deviated somewhere else and not on your subjects. Are you so pertinent? Are you so committed? Do you have so much of great conviction in life that you must come up educationally? That great commitment you have will take you to greater heights in life. It is out and out a psychological point. This should be properly nourished. You know the seedling, you know the sapling, you know how the plant comes up in life. You have to provide a fence around, you have to manure and irrigate it properly. Finally, after a few years, you have a huge tree doesn't demand for any fencing from you, which doesn't ask for any menu. Earlier, when it was a small sapling, even a puppy, your pet dog, which was tied to the plant, the dog could draw the plant out of the soil and could damage it. But today, even an elephant could be tied to the huge tree after a few years. So now you are in the stage of a plant. You must always cater to the protective measures, and you must always sincerely plan your programs, and you must determine to see that you must become a good education, a man of good education. You have to concentrate. No other business for you to waste your time with regard to any other aspects. You have to concentrate. As a monk, I have to concentrate my spiritual life. Otherwise, how can I remain as a monk? I will have 300 programs a year for your information, my dear friends. Yesterday I was in Bangalore, today I am in Bangalore, again tomorrow also I will be in Bangalore. So in a week, 4 to 5 days I will be in Bangalore. My total travel, you may be surprised now, in last 30, it has crossed 14 lakh kilometers. On road, by flight, by train, of course. My backbone could sustain even after 14 lakh kilometers of travel. I love this life. I am doing justice to this by the divine blessings of God, and I am committed. See, when I am committed to my cause, and when I feel that not a single day in my life in the last 35 years of my spirituality, I have not felt in my mind that my decision is wrong. I was a software engineer. By this time, I would have been more or less one of second or third in ISRO or Tata Institute. In 1988, I stayed with my parents after my graduation. For 2 months in my house, I had 6 opportunities. At every step of my life, what is happiness and contentment? As a student, you have to enjoy your studies. As a professor, he has to teach you. He must enjoy his teaching. As a mom, I must stand in the place of your parents. Your father is of my age. If I scold you, you should think that your father is scolding you in the form of Swamiji. Your teacher is telling you things, and he is correcting me. Nobody will come for your rescue or to correct you on the streets. If I say, see, out of love and affection only. ಇದು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ನಾಳೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೋಟೆಲ್ ಬಿಡ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಭಾರತ ರತ್ನಗಳು, ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಗಾಗೂ ಕೂತಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವತ್ತು ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ನಾನು ಅವತ್ತು ಕೂತಿದ್ದೆ ಹಾಗೆ ಅವತ್ತು ಬೈದಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೋಟೆಲ್ ಭಾರತ ರತ್ನನೇ ಹುಟ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ? Got it? So you have to concentrate. You must plan your life. You must plan your life. You must plan your time. And you must have passion for learning. You know, if you inculcate the habit of satsang, if you visit Ramakrishna ashramas, especially the lectures pertaining to the younger generation, you will have the motivational talks. You go to YouTube and see our lectures. I have uploaded 152 lectures of mine, Kannada and English, wherever I address all over the country and world. And you can listen to Swami Sarvapriyanandaji from America, my brother monk. And they're all scintillating. They're all enlightening. You have to spend your time exclusively to see your motivation and acceleration. What do you get from your WhatsApp? ಮೂರು ಮದುವೆ ಆದ ನಟಿ ಆತ್ಮಹತ್ಯೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡ್ಳು. ಆತ್ಮಹತ್ಯೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿತ್ತಪ್ಪ, 3 ಮದುವೆ ಆಗಿತ್ತಪ್ಪ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾಕದು, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ? You will spend time there. When you open a newspaper, what do you find? Fair price depot ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳ್ಳ ಅಕ್ಕಿ ಕಳ್ಳತನ, ಡ್ರಗ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ನೊಬೆಲ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆಡಲ್ ಒಲಿಂಪಿಕ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಪಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಜಲ್ ಗಾರ್ನರ್ ಥಾಮಸ್, ಶಿಕ್ಷಕನ ಬತಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ, ವೈದ್ಯನ ಬತಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ. So these are all human defects. Can you think that human defect is an ideal for you? When you have a downfall of a sannyasi in society, for your information, even a sannyasi. You must look at Shankaracharya, Vivekananda, great sannyasis, and take to confidence that sannyasa means Shankara. Sannyasa means Vivekananda. Sannyasa is not something like a deterioration of any bond in the society. If you come across a doctor who has stolen kidneys from a patient, you should not take that every doctor is a thief. You have so many doctors, great doctors. Vaidyo Narayano Harihi. This is a human defect. This is an individual defect. If you come across any liar who betrayed people, I can logically conclude that every liar is a bad man. That is his individual blunder. And this fraternity of advocates, what an amount of contribution. You have to study. The whole freedom movement of India was enriched with the zestfulness of patriotism by the galaxy of advocates. Gandhi was an advocate. Sardar Patel was an advocate. You see ICS officer Subhash Chandra Bose. You see so many people who are bar at law. Okay? You must feel proud of that. You are not ordinary people. I am not just exaggerating things. But there is no need for me, even to you also, for any exaggeration. Please be serious about the responsibility what you have right now, and that will definitely take you to greater heights. Yes, please.
Any other question? Any other question?
No more questions? Shall I take my seat?
Thank you so much, Shri VEERESHANANDA Saraswati Swamiji, for your inspiring words. Now I would like to call upon Ms. Abhigna from third year LLB for vote of thanks.
I would like to thank Shri VEERESHANANDA Saraswati Swamiji for being here with us today and enlightening us with his words. I now request Jayan sir to present him the fruit basket. I take this opportunity to thank Dr. Antanta MJ Ma'am, Vice Principal, Dr. Manoj Kumar V. Hiremar Sir, IQAC Coordinator, Dr. Mahantesh Sir, Legal Services Clinic Coordinator, Dr. J. M. Mallikarjunana Sir, Principal. I also thank all the teaching and non-teaching staff and my dear friends. Thank you.
If anybody has any questions, you can come to conference room in 2 minutes. Thank you so much.